And this is it. This is believed to contain the head of John the Baptist. If that's the case or not, we don't know. And here we have it, the most famous landmark in Damascus, the Umayyad Mosque. What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new episode from Damascus, Syria, starting the day exploring the city of Damascus. We have seen bits and pieces of it last night during the dark. Completely different city at night compared to during the day, especially during Ramadan. So yeah, let's go and explore the city. Let's see exactly what attraction Damascus has to offer. Starting here to show you guys the beautiful hotel, show you the courtyard here in a little bit, but very similar to the Orient hotel that we have stayed in Hama, or in design and the chairs and the coffee tables and so on. Humongous bed, 2x2. But yeah, the ceiling superb. Yeah, everything is super nice. All the hotels so far, I can say they were extremely nice here in Syria. Show you guys the outdoor as well. But yeah, let's go and explore our last full day here in Syria before heading off to Lebanon, to Beirut later in the evening today. So yeah, more vlogs from Lebanon after the Syria one. So yeah, stay tuned. This is the terrace. Check out that beautiful purple tree. Everything, spring is in the air, definitely here in Syria. And the interior courtyard of the hotel. Beautiful lemon and orange trees all throughout. A little fountain, but check out the resting area. And starting the day off again with your typical Syrian breakfast with a whole bunch of stuff on the table. Barely any room. The streets of Damascus early in the morning, way more quiet than last night. Yeah, going right now to visit a little church here that has a correlation with St. Paul, and then we're gonna head over towards the museum and then back to the old quarters in order to go to the mosque, shrine, bazaar, and so on. One of the underground churches here in Damascus. This is actually one of the churches from the 1st century where St. Paul came to hide after he converted to Christianity. And here we have one of the old gates of Damascus, which actually nowadays it's a church. So the little footage of the previous church related to St. Paul, you know, this is actually where St. Paul afterwards, when he converted to Christianity, came and people helped him climb down from the city walls, and then he sailed back to Jerusalem. So yeah, quite neat and quite well maintained. And here on the right side, between the traffic, we have the train station of Damascus, which was actually built by the Ottomans back at the early 20th century, 1908 or something like that, the guy told us. But the city life traffic in Damascus is getting quite hectic right now. Getting close to the old city. This is the courthouse. We came here last night, wasn't sure what it was. The souk is right there, and the city walls. And in the bazaar itself, way different than last night. A whole bunch of people. Check out the crowds. Yeah, this is extreme. So as much as I enjoy bazaars, markets and so on, it becomes tiring when it's so packed. You can barely breathe. I mean, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, and you're just bumping into people. So last night we passed through this entrance arch, but I was not aware that this was the temple of Jupiter back in the day, leading towards the mosque, the current mosque. This back in the day was a church, but more of that here soon. And here we have it, the most famous landmark in Damascus, the Umayyad Mosque. Check out the design right there. Yeah, you'll see more of that here in a little bit. But yeah, this is something special. This is a piece of history that has been through so many things. Once a temple before the Romans came, and then the Romans transformed the temple into the temple of Jupiter, and then it was a church by the Byzantines, and then a mosque later on. So yeah, lots and lots of history between these walls. Simply outstanding. Super glad that this was not affected in any way by the recent events, because it would have been a loss. I mean, it suffered once from the fire. It doesn't need to suffer again from anything else. Here's a close view of all the mosaics on the main facade. Superb. It looks like the dome remained how it was back when the mosque was a church. Outstanding. Here's another unique fact. The three minarets, they're all in different styles. This one, Ottoman, Turkish. This one right there, Egyptian, and the one behind us, just above, if you have seen the previous footage, was Damascus. And here's again the Damascus Tower, if you have missed it. But yeah, outstanding, superb. I have no words to describe this. A whole bunch of mosaic surrounding the interior courtyard of the mosque. Actually, a lot of the mosaic was lost in the 19th century when there was a fire here at the mosque. But this is how everything looked from one end to the other. Like I mentioned, before it became a mosque, it was a church called John the Baptist. And the reason behind it is that when John the Baptist was decapitated back in the day, it was believed that its head was brought to Damascus, to this church. Well, in the 8th century, they actually found a little coffin, and in Hebrew, it said this is the head of John the Baptist. And because John the Baptist is a prophet in the Muslim world, in Islam, well, they built a sanctuary here for it. And this is it. This is believed to contain the head of John the Baptist. If that's the case or not, we don't know. So we went on this bridge so we can get a panorama of the traffic here in Damascus. Like I said earlier, traffic was really light. There were barely any people walking. Well, everything changed 1 hour later. The museum is right there on the right. We're heading back towards the old town to visit the mosque, the shrine, the bazaar, and so on. But yeah, the mountains of Damascus. And as you can tell right there, a whole bunch of houses built on the hills, on the mountains of Damascus. Not sure what that building is right there, incomplete, but it looks like, I don't know, some type of opera or arena. A quick visit to the National Museum of Syria here in Damascus. Unfortunately, no photos and videos allowed, but they do have a pretty nice exhibition from Palmyra and from other sites. But a lot of the statues here outdoors, it's actually an open air museum, and the outdoors actually have statues that were original. They're not just copies, so that's quite interesting. So this is one of the largest, if not the largest, caravanserai in Syria. It's famed for being one of the most expensive, exquisite caravanserais in the Middle East. It does look like it was, you know, a 5-star, an expensive place to settle for the night. And we also have a Shia shrine in Damascus. One of the family members of the Prophet is actually buried here. But here we have tile as well as glass. If you have seen the Iraq episodes, those shrines there were all covered in just glass. But superb, without a doubt. And a visit to Damascus will not be completed without a quick stop at Azam Palace. It was built in the Ottoman era. Yeah, let's go and see exactly what it has to offer. And in the back of the palace, you can see the minaret, one of the minarets. You actually cannot take photos or videos inside the palace, but the courtyard will do. So we were told that this was actually occupied until the 50s, and then the government of Syria decided to transform it into the National Folklore Museum. So that's why everything in Syria, if it's a museum, you're not allowed to take photos, videos inside. Well, you can catch a few glimpses, a few photos, but that's pretty much it. And our tour of Damascus is almost completed. Heading over right now to our hotel in order to get our bags. Just showing you glimpses of different parts of old Damascus. So yeah, we're gonna head over. Our driver should be there, and in a couple of hours we should be at the Syrian-Lebanese border. And of course, there's a souk, there's a bazaar just for spices. Those figs look quite delicious. A few more days and people will get back to their regular eating routine. Ramadan will be over in like 10 days or so, 9 days, 8 days, don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's a little bit different visiting an Arab country during Ramadan, because hours are always changing. Everything's ever changing during Ramadan. You know, people have a different routine. They're tired throughout the day. You know, even our guide, you know, you could feel that after 2, 3, 4 hours in the heat, things started to slow down for him a little bit. You know, our driver, he didn't care. He had to be, you know, focused on the road at all times, and he didn't kept the fast throughout our journey here in Syria. But either way, this is the Umayyad Mosque. We're gonna go inside tomorrow, but just taking a little walk. It's beautiful, lit up. Surprisingly, is lit up. We haven't seen many buildings lit up here in Syria because of the energy problems, because electricity keeps going off and then the generator turns on, or a lot of things are being supported by the generator all throughout the day. So guys, putting an end to the episodes from Syria. This is actually filmed months after the Syrian journey was over. A lot of things have changed since then. I'm actually filming on a new phone. I said I'll finish the vlog with a little footage on the new S22 Ultra, just to see how the footage is and get an idea, because in a couple of days I'm leaving for Africa and I wanted to see exactly how things are working on this phone. But again, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. A lot more videos coming, a lot more YouTube shorts coming on the channel, so definitely stay tuned. Definitely head over to Instagram in order to see stories, photos, and a whole bunch more from all over the world. Exciting destinations are coming. So yeah, again, a lot of things have changed since this Syrian vlog has started, and now it has ended. I actually have one more episode that I'm going to probably put later on for specific reasons. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Gratitude should be the only attitude. Stay humble, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace out.